All right, Padres pregame thoughts. Padres and the Phillies later today. Don't mind the hat. My team obviously is the Padres, but I'm currently on a road trip. I'm in Minnesota. I have family in Minnesota. And so the Twins, my family in Minnesota really loves the Twins. And so I support the Twins as my American League team whenever the Padres aren't playing. When the Padres are playing the Twins, I'm obviously a Padres fan. I'm a diehard Padres fan. Shoot, I'm still doing this Padres video wearing a Twins hat in Minnesota. So, yeah, Padres are the team, so don't mind it. Padres-Phillies today. Darvish on the mound for the Padres, and he's going to be going up against a pretty talented Phillies lineup. I don't know if this Phillies lineup has lived up to their potential this season as much as they should, but it should be a pretty tough test here, these 4 games out of the All-Star break. And I think it's going to be a good test for the Padres offense as well. They're going to be facing Zach Wheeler, I know for a fact. Probably Nola as well in this series. Zach Wheeler in the series finale, but that's obviously a little bit away. But it's 4 games. There's going to be a doubleheader tomorrow. So it's a lot of baseball for this lineup. Now, the good news is the guys are healthy. They just got a mental reset, a physical reset. Hopefully Xander, he's going to be doing really well out of this All-Star break, and he can do really well the rest of the season. Because remember, he had the cortisone shot after Sunday's game, and the first time he had the cortisone shot, after that, he started the season as like the best shortstop in baseball. So you hope he can do that for the rest of July, the rest of August, and we'll see what happens there in September. And hopefully he doesn't get hit in the wrist by a pitch, because if you remember, when he got hit, I believe it was by either Spencer Strider or Max Fried. It was against the Braves. He got hit, and then he wasn't the same player. So you hope that doesn't happen. And so I'm going to go with Xander tonight for my Underdog Fantasy pick. I'm going to go half a single higher on Xander Bogaerts. I don't know a whole lot about this Philadelphia starting pitcher, to be honest. Not going to act like I do. But I do know about Xander Bogaerts, and I think he's motivated to be much better here in the unofficial second half of the season as it gets underway tonight. And again, I think he's healthier, and he's going to feel better after having these 4 days off. He didn't even want to swing a bat. That's what it seemed like when he was speaking to the media after Sunday's game at Petco. So hopefully he is well rested. This lineup is well rested. Hopefully Manny can keep swinging the bat better. And this bullpen, we'll see. I'm really interested in seeing how this bullpen does over this next 10-game road trip that the Padres have, and they're going to start tonight. Obviously, they limped into that All-Star break. There were guys that it felt like they were just overused. Tim Hill's one of those. Nick Martinez is another one of those guys. Just felt like they got taxed a lot. And Nick was, it just felt like, again, he was limping into the break. Maybe there was dead arm with some of these guys. Felt like there was just a lot of pitches that were left over the middle of the plate. And hopefully that will improve here as, again, they got reset and now they go for the rest of the season. And there's going to be some off days too. After this Phillies series, there's an off day. So use those off days well. And I think the bullpen's going to be in a better spot. It's also going to be in a better spot because Steven Wilson, he just got activated today after being on the IL. And Steven Wilson is one of the higher leverage guys. So maybe Nick Martinez isn't going to have to pitch or be relied upon to pitch as consistently in a high leverage spot. Maybe it's going to be 7, 8, 9. It will be Cosgrove, Wilson, Hader, or they'll go Wilson in the 7th, and they'll go Cosgrove, Hader. Because Cosgrove, he has earned his spot in being one of the high-leverage relievers in this bullpen. So we'll see. I'm curious to see if Baumel decides right out of the gate to keep trusting Nick Martinez, or does he stick with Cosgrove? Does he go back to Wilson in those high-leverage spots? Does he use Garcia more in those spots? Maybe they're down by a run. Use him more than Nick. I'm curious to see how that works out. Obviously, the deadline, do the Padres add a reliever? Very interested in that. And can they add a bat? Maybe multiple bats, but definitely a bat. I mean, they had Brandon Dixon DHing. No disrespect to him. I think he knows this. The Padres did not envision having Brandon Dixon be the DH, but that's where they are right now because they're not going to have Gary DH all the time because he has to be behind the plate because Nola's not very good behind the plate. They're not going to have Matt Carpenter DH every day because he just has not done anything for this Padres team. The power's not there. He's hitting like under 200, I think. It's just not there. He has been bad. Nelson Cruz obviously got released the other day, so they just don't have the options. So getting another bat here in this lineup, I think, is going to be very important for this Padres team. And we'll see, maybe they're not going to be buyers. If they have a terrible road trip here, hopefully they don't, but if they have a terrible road trip, then why should they go buy a bunch of pieces? Why should they go bring in a bat? If the team that is currently here that has a lot of talent on the team, at least that's what we thought going into the year, if that team cannot show that they deserve to have their GM, their owner, believe in them, they don't show encouraging signs and continue to win and maybe get over 500, get to 500 by the deadline, show some again, positive signs, show that, yeah, things are trending in the right direction. If they don't do that, then they shouldn't buy. But I'm expecting them to make a charge and get closer to 500, hopefully get over 500. I'm not going to guarantee a playoff spot, but I think this team is going to play better here coming out of the All-Star break. So we shall see. First pitch, a little bit after 3 o'clock Pacific time, Padres and the Phillies. Rested bullpens for both teams and just rested teams overall, and two teams that are fighting for a wild card spot. The Phillies, Padres can gain direct games on them. That's why this is an important series. And the Phillies, they're trying to get into a wild card spot. So both teams definitely want it.